Voice-Over-LTE, or some people call it VoLTE or VoLTE, is really a way to deliver voice services in all IP LTE networks. You can think of it as a service profile of IMS, developed and defined by 3GPP and in particular by the GSM Association. And what it does is really takes a very complex technology, simplifies it and makes it implementable by operators. You need it because LTE is an all IP network, and there's no really any other alternative that's both well defined and well supported by the ecosystem, by the industry. And so over the medium to longer term, you don't really have any choice. Voice is a critical application. It's a lot of revenue. People pick up the phone, they want to make calls and they want it to work. So that's why you need it. In terms of a commercial launch for Voice-Over-LTE services, there are really two strands to look at. I think we'll see the first commercial launches at some point in 2012. We don't exactly know when yet, but my bet is somewhere around mid-year. I think the operators that are going to drive it are based in North America, and they're the ones with a CDMA heritage. There's certain aspects of their operations that are sort of pushing them towards Voice-Over-LTE in that type of time frame. For operators with a UMTS heritage, I think we're looking at early 2013 for the advanced ones, and that's really being driven by the availability of devices. So we're just seeing the first of the new generation of chipset that's shipping out and sampling into the market right now. So operators are going to be able to run trials through the first half of this year, bigger field trials from mid-2012, which all said and done for commercial launch with good devices, I think we're going to be looking at early 2013. The challenges in Voice-Over-LTE, I suppose you can think about two aspects. The first is commercial. At the moment, most operators, if they do even have an LTE network, it doesn't have probably that many users relative to their overall subscriber base, so you need to invest a lot of money for a fewer amount of your users. So that, there's definitely a challenge in terms of timing your investment in this technology. And then on the technical front, it is a complex and very involved process to roll out an IMS core and then roll out the fully, if you like, working interoperable service with billing, support, all that kind of thing. And really we're at the phase now where the industry, vendors and operators, handset makers together are really having to put in the, if you like, the hard yards in terms of getting this technology to really work properly. I think as time goes on, the operators that launch later, say if you launch LTE in 2013, 2014, a lot of the hard work's going to be done. Some of the industry best practices are going to sort of disseminate out across the community, and they're going to be able to launch a lot quicker. There is a role for interim technologies in Voice-Over-LTE. Operators that already have LTE networks, naturally they want to start selling smartphones. They need a voice solution. People want to make calls, so typically people are looking at either circuit switch fallback in UMTS networks or dual radio solutions in CDMA networks. What I think will happen over time is that competition from other operators in your market and potentially from over-the-top providers is actually going to push operators towards the full Voice-Over-LTE implementation, which I think is going to start being proven to be, if you like, better quality, richer features, and more reliable ultimately. One of the interesting things about Voice-Over-LTE in the sort of medium term, shall we say, is how, as it evolves to richer IMS-based services, RCS and so forth, is how operators are going to be able to potentially make these capabilities available to developers via network APIs and such like. For developers, what that will mean is they can create services without having to develop their own messaging technology or calling technology. You can just plug into standardized services that are interoperable and reliable and really designed in the best traditions of telecom. So just as the PSTN is the interconnect of last resort today, even for Skype and Google and things like that, I think in future we'll see that role taken up by the IMS core. And this is really a technology then that users and developers are going to be able to put into applications and are going to be able to rely on.